Yeah, good to see you back at Newlands. You've been playing obviously in the French league. How's that experience been for you?
I think a bit different than what we used to. Yeah, I think in top Super Rugby is a bit more structured than back there. But I think I also enjoy top 14. It's a different challenge, it's different conditions. So really enjoying it, but really missing Super Rugby, also the vibe and everything that goes with it. But yeah, I think I'm quite happy at Grenoble, really enjoying it there. So yeah.
Okay, and the physicality of the rugby. I mean, yeah, what exactly is the sort of style of rugby like there compared to here?
I think it's more or less the same. I think the whole thing about French rugby is also they want to play with French flair, so they want to throw the ball a bit around. So I think you have your physical component in that in terms of games that it's a bit wetter and when it's raining, but also when the sun is out and the fields are dry. We like to throw the ball around, so I think a bit of both. I think rugby all over the world is more or less the same standards in terms of physicality and in terms of speed. But I also think the game here in Super Rugby experienced it previously. It's a bit faster than back there, but I think physicality and skill-wise and player-wise, it's basically more on the same level.
I have to ask you: have you had a chat with Heyneke Meyer, or are you in the Rugby World Cup picture at all?
I don't know if I have to comment on that. Hopefully, I think every South African would, and me especially, would want to play in the World Cup or want to represent your country, even if it's just for trading. I think you would want to represent your country. So, hopefully that call comes, and hopefully I can go to the World Cup. But all in all, I think that the coaches are skilled and good enough to pick the best 231 players to go to the World Cup and to go win the World Cup. So I think our rugby's in good hands, and I think they've got the capable abilities to do that.
Okay. Now we know about your speed and your skill. There's this perception that Heyneke Meyer doesn't choose small players. And I guess that was maybe a criticism of yours in the past, but obviously now he's looking at guys like Cheslin and Colby. That must be very encouraging.
I think that's encouraging, putting in, I won't say putting in the hard yards before and taking the flag, but it's good to see guys like Cheslin getting a go, and guys like Faf de Klerk, who's really playing good rugby and is really, if you look at the stats, he's among the top performers in Super Rugby, and I think that must count for something. That must count for they're doing the job on the field, they're getting the job done even better than the bigger players. So I think in that I can smile a bit, sit back and smile, and seeing that guys like that getting a chance. So that's a really positive going forward, and I think it gives hope to young players who's smaller than the bigger boys and who really wants to represent their country. That there's hope for them, and guys like Cheslin and Faf and going forward, so they can also have a chance to play in the green and gold.
Okay, now, how much of the Stormers season have you seen this year, and how do you see their chances against the Brumbies this weekend?
I think at the beginning of the season, everybody didn't give this team a chance. They're in the quarterfinals now, and nobody really gave them a chance. They're really young, and they really played above the expectation of a lot of people. But that's the nature of the Stormers. I think in being in the group and being here at Newlands, this team always wants to excel, and this team always wants to make the people proud, and that's exactly what they did there. And I think on Saturday they will really got to go out there and do the same thing that they did over the whole season. I've been following it very closely. Sometimes when I'm playing, I'll be following on my phone the scores. We have a little bit of Super Bro over there, so obviously that didn't go sometimes that well for me, because picking the results of the Stormers, I always go with my heart and not with my head. So that didn't go that well. But I mean, the boys did really well. I think Saturday's going to be a tough task against the Brumbies. It's going to be a tough battle. It's final space is up for grabs. But I think the boys being in front of the home ground, the crowd cheering them, probably having the best crowd in the world, cheering them on, they'll be quite ready for this. And knowing the boys, it's going to be a massive onslaught, but I think they're going to give all that they've got and really hope for the result to go their way.
And for you, good to be back in the Cape. Have you been getting homesick?
Absolutely. If you look at this, it's winter and it's sun. Back in Grenoble, when it's winter, it snows, so I can't complain. It's good to be back with the family, good to see familiar faces, good to speak Afrikaans, good to go to a shop and people understand you. So that's a good thing. But also, like in France, you get along and you get along. It's something new. It's a new language that you learn, so that's also good. In terms of a new culture, but it's really good to be back home. Really good to be with the family, seeing friends, seeing familiar faces, and yeah, seeing the sun. It's absolutely fantastic in the winter.